Here, and a lot of people joining us here tonight, folks. So it's going to be an exciting night, and very excited tonight. Actually, very special night tonight. Very special night. We're going to be introducing somebody very special, a new partner for our
Here.
trading room here. And
So,
I think we got it going. All right, everything's looking good. A little housekeeping here before we get started. First of all, my name is Hugh. All right, and I'm going to be honest with you. Sometimes I get very passionate about what we talk about here. Okay, I've been doing this for a long time, and I get very excited about trading. So if I speak a little bit too fast, please use the questions box. You'll find a little icon on your Zoom dashboard. Click on that. And let me know, and I'll slow down or I'll say it in other words or whatever, so that I don't want you to get all confused or rattled because I might be going over something really quick. So again, there is a questions box. You'll find a little questions box icon on your Zoom dashboard. And the other thing I want to tell you was that we're not going to get into too much technical stuff here today. It's not like, I'm going to teach you how to make $1 million in a week for trading options. That's not it at all. All right, so we're not going to. So if we do talk about anything technical at all, don't worry about it if you don't quite get it, okay? Because we're not going to get into all that. And while we're on that subject, why don't you tell me in the questions box if you are new to day trade SPY or trading options in general, or if you are experienced, and just so we get a good idea as to the kind of audience that we're talking to here. So, and again, if you are new to options, again, don't worry too much if you're missing. If you're not understanding everything, that's going to come automatically. So, okay, and that'll give us a good idea as to who we're talking to here. So I don't want to talk over your heads, but at the same time, if you are an experienced trader, definitely don't want to go talk too elementary here either. So all right, so let's get started. And okay, lots of experienced. Okay. What should I be seeing at the moment on the screen? You should see a picture of my beautiful dog Lucy and myself with Weekend Review, hosted by Hugh. Somebody's asking. Okay, so here's what happens a lot of times. Excuse me, as I clear my throat. People log on and then they minimize our screen so they can do other things. And then when we come on, of course, they're wondering, well, where are we? Our screen is there, so check your tray and expand the screen that you minimized. And it's easy to do. It's easy to forget. So not a problem. Not a problem. Just kind of going through some of the. Been here a long time. Okay, 1 month rapidly learning. Douglas, thanks for that. Pick of the day subscriber. 5 years, lots of experience. Yes, we have YouTube. We're on YouTube live, and that'll be recorded there as well. This is gonna be recorded. In fact, we're gonna record this in a minute here, and you'll have access to the recording as well on the website daytradespy.com. Jeremy, good to have you here. 1 month, middle of the road. Okay. Catherine H. Been with you for 3 months. Never traded options before. Hugh did a little day trading with small cap and no success. Need to renew my membership. Okay, good stuff. All right. Let's get going here, folks. I'm gonna hit the button.
recording in progress.
All right. Good evening again, everybody. Welcome to DayTradeSPY.com's Weekend Review. My name is Hugh, and it is Sunday, February the 2nd, 2025. Again, use the questions box to find the little icon on your Zoom dashboard. That is for you to contact us. I'm going to just give you half a second here to uh, read this disclaimer. Keeps the lawyers happy, and I'll be quiet for about 20 seconds here. Okay, so. All right, I think you generally get that. You're alone responsible for all your own trading, and past performance does not guarantee future results. All right, there I am, folks, in that little oval. Okay, I am live. I'm live. It is a live session, or it's not pre-recorded. And we do this every Sunday night. We've been doing this every Sunday night since 2010. 2010. We are in our actually. I think it's May the 15th or something. It's going to be 15 years we've been doing this. And I think we're gonna get it right eventually. Anyway, so what qualifies me to talk about day trading options anyway? Absolutely nothing. Nothing at all. Nothing. I I'll tell you, I started trading options when my buddy Dave told me about this company. It was some steel company. He said it was actually a steel company in Canada. It was going down. He said, "Oh, you should short it and buy the options on it." I said, "What do you mean short it?" "Well, you sell it first and then you buy it." Uh, "Oh, really? What are you smoking, Dave? And can I have some?" I'm just kidding about that, but I was laughing about it with him. But he explained it to me. He told me, and actually, I followed him, and I made some pretty good money on it. I said, "Well, this is kind of fun," and I did some more and more, and I started making some money. And I came from a corporate America environment. I used to be an internal auditor for an insurance company, and so this is sort of new to me. Although I did dabble in the stock market many, many years ago, before this, but we didn't have online brokers then, so we had to get a broker, and I would call him and I'd say, "Well, what's a good stock to trade?" And oh, I've got $1,000. I thought that was a lot of money for me back then, and I think he just placated me. He gave me some stock, and I think it went up $1, and I sold it, and that was the end of that. But anyway, my serious trading came years before 2010. I started making some pretty good money on the market. Actually, I should probably show you a picture. Let me see if I can find it. I did actually get a bit. So what I did was, oh my gosh. Okay, bear with me while I dig out this picture, if I can find it. Okay, and I want to bring this off here. Okay, bang, get that out of there. Um, so things weren't always going very well for me. All right. Yeah, I had financial issues, and I used to give my I used to give my hard-earned money to my financial guru back in the day, and it wasn't until he had um, he had blown out my account that I realized that, hey, I got to learn how to do this myself. And oh, come on, verify account, nothing. Just give me the picture I'm looking for here. I might not be able to get it, and I might have to get this here later some point. Oh, brother, I hate it when this happens. You look for something and then, verify your account, verify your account. Well, uh, where is it right here? Maybe I can get it out here. Let's take a look. Just bear with me if I want to show you a picture. Okay, here it is right here. So, uh, and I'm gonna see if I can. I'm gonna see if I can just bring this into the PowerPoint. Just hold, real preparation here, right? So what happened was, I love the story. I love the story here. Okay, I'm gonna duplicate this. Actually, new slide. And what happened was, so my advisor blew up my account. I said, "Well, cut me a check for whatever's left. Obviously, I have to learn how to do this myself, right?" And I was very, very angry at him and everything else because I had spent a lot of money investing in my, for my future. I thought I was going to have a very nice kind of a retirement. And now, as an internal auditor, you would think that I would have been on top of things because that's what I do. I look at numbers and I check things, but they would send me these statements all the time, and I never bothered to open them. I thought, well, my friend Mike, he's going to take care of me, right? Now, one day I'll be surprised. And then when I finally did open the statement, years later, I thought I'd be pleasantly surprised, but I was shocked at how little money I had. And I told him to cut me a check for whatever's left. Obviously, I have to learn how to do this myself. I went down the next day to his office, picked up what it was left. It was about half of what I invested. And I'm not a genius, but I know that if you lose 50%, that means you have to make 100% to make it up, right? Which is a lot harder than it is to lose. Anyway, driving back, I discovered a couple things that really stuck to me, and that was what. And by this time, we were into the internet world. I said, well, first of all, everybody has information at their fingertips, just like everybody else, myself included. So, what makes him more qualified than me? I thought he would have been more qualified than I am, but it turned out that whether he was negligent or didn't care, market went funny. I don't know. I don't. I didn't care. But he tried to keep my account by telling me to average in and double down and all this stuff, as if I had an endless supply of money. I also realized that at that time that these guys were just simply pushing whatever the product was at the time that would pay them the commission. they looked at me, I suppose, and other people like myself, like we're pigeons, you know. They're just using our money. If they made us a few bucks here and there, great, but it didn't seem like it was their priority. And also realized that nobody cares or should care more about my money than myself. So these revelations all kind of came to me there. And yes, I was in tears because I realized that, uh-oh, the way things are going right now, I am going to be pouring coffee in my 80s and 90s if some coffee shop will have me. But I'll be damned if my kids are going to suffer because along with my own retirement, my kids my kids' education fund was in on this whole thing too. And when I knew that that had been blown out as well, I got very angry. And I remember years ago, my son was going to college, University of Buffalo, and he needed a car. I said, Alex, I'll get you a car. Don't worry about it. I'll get you a car. I didn't have the money, but I started trading. I started making some pretty serious money on the market, and and then I surprised him. I got him a car. Actually, at that time, I got him a BMW. It was pre-owned, a couple of years old. I remember it was parked in the garage, and then when I came home one day and I said, I got your car. I opened the garage door and he was dancing all over the place. He was so excited, just went crazy. Um, anyway, my early years were that. Discovered some cool strategies along the way, and others noticed. They course me to teach them. So I started trading and teaching people in 2015, 2010. Been teaching people internationally since 2010. And I'm looking for short-term breakout trades. Do that multiple times a day, just kind of load up your account. But what happened was, so my daughter, she also went off to college, and I thought it was time to for new cars for these guys. Actually I made some pretty good money on the stock market, and I was pretty excited because I wanted to give them some, kind of a nice little, gift for college and help them along and give them confidence. Neither one of them had all that much confidence, believe it or not, going up to college, and I thought this is going to be a real boost. So I got them. Now don't get excited. Two Mercedes, one for each. And, one was black, the other was silver, and they went crazy when they saw this. Now they're the baby Benz. I think it was the 230s or whatever they were, and it was a C class or whatever. But they're still Mercedes, and they were a couple of years old, so they weren't brand new, but they were still very nice, and obviously they really enjoyed having fun with these cars. So that's what options trading can do. You can actually make a lot of money with not a lot of seed money start in a very short period of time. And sometimes you'll hear people say, "Oh, I made 50% yesterday," or "I made 116% yesterday." You could probably believe it because it could very well be true. And in fact, we've done that many times. That's not unusual. So, but anyway, there's a picture of their cars in the driveway, and pretty excited about it. When I took that picture many years ago, and we had since moved and all that, but when I took that picture many years ago, I didn't really think I'd ever be using it here to show you tonight here. And I try not to say it because it sounds like I'm bragging, but I'm not. I'm just telling you. And listen, I'm going to apologize in advance if it ever sounds like I'm being arrogant and I'm bragging. That's not the intent at all. I'm just trying to make a point. You can actually make a lot of serious money on the stock market. All right, so let's talk about what we're going to discuss here tonight. We're going to talk about last week's review, and we're going to talk about the upcoming week, and we're going to introduce to you a very special gentleman. I'm pretty sure you're going to really enjoy. Uh, and uh, and I'm very excited. I'm very excited to talk about this. I'm going to quickly go through all this other stuff here so we can talk to John. All right, his name is John, and we're going to talk about how we can help you become great traders, and we'll even answer your questions. All right, we'll even answer your questions. All right, so sit tight and let's go for a ride. But first, I just want to mention to you, actually, a couple reminders. I also neglected to pull up another slide here, which I will, I guess, at some point. But spy on the market, folks. Spy on the market. This here is a newsletter that goes out every Thursday morning, falls into your inbox. It's a brief 3-minute read, free, light, relevant, even entertaining. All you have to do is subscribe. Go to the website daytradespy.com. Excuse me. And when the pop-up comes up, just leave us your email address. All right. Now, if you do miss this and you want to go get the previous editions, and there's a whole lot of them. been doing this for, I don't know, a year and a half or something like that. Go to the website DayTradeSPY.com, and up at the top left, you can just click on Spy on the Market. And under newsletters, click on the newsletters. You'll get all the old publications here. And it's actually quite entertaining. There's always going to be a little knowledge conveyed in these things. And also, there's a lot of good stuff here. Stuff that I learned from the trenches. Stuff they don't teach you anywhere else. Spy Kids. Here's a cool one. Did you know that there are actually kids attached to SPY, the stock that we trade every day? So we only trade one stock, SPY, which is the stock, it's a spider that follows the S&P 500. And but when they developed this stock, this exchange traded fund, they had to attach it to somebody. And so there's a group of 11 ordinary kids that were born between May 1990 and January 1993 when this group of people and I guess I don't want to say underwriters, whatever they call themselves, the people that did this, the lawyers and whatnot, and they said, well, we need some kids to attach us. So they brought in their kids, the young kids. And anyway, you can read about this. And so there are these spy kids who are actually worth an awful lot attached to this SPY. Like, billions and billions and billions of dollars. I think that right now we're at something like 500 billion, or at least it was. Actually, it's much more than that. So it's worth over 600 billion right now. But anyway, there's a lot of great articles in here. So check them out, folks. Check them out. Spy on the Market, it's called. All right. So this week we're going to talk about this week's where did it go? Right there. Super Bowl effect on the market. That's what this week's topic is, and I think it's going to be a very exciting read. So I think you'll really enjoy it. Super Bowl, of course, is coming up next Sunday. Is it next Sunday? I believe it's next Sunday, the 9th. Yes. Now we're still going to have our session here, but this is going to be a pretty cool article. It's going to come out Thursday in your inbox. All right. Spy on the Market. All right, let's get back to what we were talking about here. So, I'm going to take a look at last week, what happened here with the market. This here is of course. Let me just expand this here. This is a chart. It's an hourly chart. Every one of these candles represents 1 hour of time. The green candles tell us when the market went up during that hour. The red candles tell us that the stock was coming down during that time. So here's what happened. Just a very quick look here. Um, on Monday, we had the release of the Chinese AI model that really kind of threatened the AI world on this side of the pond. And that's what dropped the market here. They could do a lot faster, cheaper, all the rest of it. And so I put that in it from Friday to Monday. We had this massive drop on Monday from about 608 right down to 590. So there's about like an 18-point drop in pre-market. But we determined that the market was probably going to go up on Monday morning. Didn't know how quickly the recovery was going to be made, but made some money to the upside. After a serious market drop on Friday and we had new home sales on Monday. We also had a bounce off some major support areas here, and then the SPY ran up to test the 600 mark on Monday. Tuesday, we had a consumer confidence report and a durable goods orders report. It was anti-inflationary, pushed the SPY higher. And then on Wednesday, of course, we had the Fed funds rate. A little bit of anxiety before 2 o'clock. They're a little bit, nervous about what not so much about what Fed Chair Powell was going to do with the interest rates. I think it was like 99.9% or 99.5% forecast that there's going to stay the same, which is what they did. But the concern was what he was going to talk about in the press conference afterwards. There's some concern. Well, is he going to, are we going to have another drop or two drops? We have no drop, or is he going to raise the market? Raise the interest rates, whatever. So, and then there was some chatter about all of that at 2 o'clock when they did announce the market. So we had some pretty wild swings on Wednesday after 2 o'clock, created some pretty high volatility in there. Excuse me. On Thursday, we had a GDP report and also an unemployment claims report. Brought SPY down, but lower than forecast pending home sales created a bullish response, and SPY ran up to just close under that 605 level. And that was pretty good there. We let me just had a little typo in there. Okay. Where did it go? There we go. So we closed just under 605. A lot of volatility in there because we had some conflicting reports concerning inflation. So when there's a threat of higher inflation, that means that, well, they're not going to reduce the interest rates or they might even raise them. And now there's a lot of talk with Trump coming in here with the tariffs. So there's little concern here, actually quite a bit of concern concerning inflation. And if we have inflation, that's a threat of interest rates. Markets do not like high interest rates. And that was evident here on Friday. We had a good PCE report, personal consumption expenditures. That was good news, and that did move the market up. In fact, it came in as expected. But then Trump's tariffs attacking Canada, Mexico, and China stopped SPY right in its tracks. Market got skittish, got worried, concerned, and we lost 11 points by the end of the day here in afternoon trading. Market just tanked because of the tariff threat. So it looks like Trump did um, go ahead with it. I believe it was yesterday, the first, the tariffs were put on, it was at 25% on Canada and Mexico, and they are retaliating with tariffs of their own. So here we go. We're going into a trade war. Probably not a good idea. Trade war is probably not a good idea. I think we're all going to suffer, but we're going to see what happens. Here's a seasonal chart, folks. So that blue line at the top, that is actually where SPY is now. And the red line at the bottom is a composite of the last 5 years closing price on the daily charts. Okay, so you're going to see how this all plays out here. So looking at as we delve into this deeper and expand and focus in on it, you'll see that historically SPY rose. SPY rose about $2 from last week. And going into the following week, we actually ran up about 5 points. I know it's very difficult to see it on this little square box in here, but those were the numbers. The numbers came out. Are we going to do that again? I don't know, but it looks like there's a tendency for the market to go up. And that kind of makes sense. Now, again, I don't know with the tariffs. And then checking the market just before we opened up here this morning, the market, the futures were all very much down. So now a lot can change between now and then, but we'll see what happens in the next few days. All right. I suspect that one thing about Trump is that he does make changes quickly, and I would think that if these tariffs don't really work out the way he thinks, he might reverse them and do something else. But he was pretty adamant on some of the comments that he'd like to see a lot of money coming in from tariffs, so he can keep income taxes down. So again, I'm paraphrasing, but we'll see what happens there. Now, of course, that's going to affect other countries as well. And well, anyway, we'll wait and see what happens. I'm not too hopeful that this is going to be a good move, but hopefully we'll see what happens. Last week, the Feds did take a bit of a pause here, backed by a solid economy and a healthy labor market. Economy does remain strong. We're growing at a 2.3% pace in Q4. Earnings are strong with four Mag 7, Magnificent 7 stocks having reported last week. They're all pretty good, I think, except Microsoft. That was a little disappointing. Feds kept interest rates steady as forecast, and the PCE remains above the Fed's 2% target as disinflation has slowed. That was last week. We also had Monday, the market tanked due to the Chinese startup DeepSeek. That's hard to say, DeepSeek. It's their AI program that really threatened the AI initiatives here in the U.S. And so not really sure where that's going, but it looks like the market did recover quite a bit. One thing about SPY, it's a very, very resilient stock. It took a few days, but we recovered pretty well the entire loss by Friday. Like again, it took a few days. It did inch back up, and we are pretty well where we were before that massive drop that we had last Monday morning. But then, of course, President Trump's aggressive tariffs stance sunk the market again with the threat of inflation. On that said, corporate earnings, we're in the middle of earnings, right? It's on track to still grow about 12% roughly, which, if achieved, would be the strongest pace since 2021. So we do have strong earnings expected to carry over into this year, 2025, and they are calling for growth of over 14% on earnings. I believe that the analysts expected something like a 7.5% growth over last year for earnings on this period here. So it looks like we are running sort of over that right now. Here's a bit of a here's a chart concerning the Fed funds rate in comparison to the core PCE inflation, and the Fed's target is 2%. We're not there yet. It is coming down, kind of hovering around here. Now, if this thing pops up, they're going to hold they're going to hold the interest rates, and if inflation gets out of hand, they're going to raise interest rates, right? They're going to raise interest rates. The thing is now, Trump, he's always been at odds with Fed Chair Powell. And Fed Chair Powell said, "Well, I'm not quitting. I'm not quitting. We're going to remain independent. I know Trump wants to get interest rates down, so it's going to be real. This is going to be another battle that's going to ensue here. So, not sure how many he can fight at one time, but definitely Powell wants to decrease inflation with monetary policy and interest rates, and I don't know what Trump's looking at doing if there's going to be inflation, but this is the chart the way it looks right now. They are expecting rates to come down in 2025, but again, we'll wait and see what happens. As far as the weekly stats, the S&P actually dropped a point here this last week, but year to date we're still up 2.7%. The Dow Jones Industrial Average, that's up year to date 4.7%, and the Nasdaq 1.6%. The tech sector got hit pretty hard with the excuse me, with the DeepSeek threat a week or so ago. So that's really what pushed a lot of the tech stocks down. And I know Nvidia lost something like $600 billion that day. So I'm not really sure where that's sitting right now. We don't follow those other stocks per se, but they're going to have a pretty impactful effect on the SPY because when you bring these tech stocks in together as a whole, there was a group, the Magnificent Seven. I believe they have something like a 38% capitalization of the entire S&P 500. A little scary, but that's kind of the way it is. All right, let's take a look and see what's coming up here in the week ahead. Monday, we've got ISM, Institute for Supply Management Manufacturing, PMI. Tuesday, we've got JOLTS job openings and earnings to include Google. Excuse me. On Wednesday, we've got a ADP non-farm employment change and an ISM services PMI report. Unemployment claims on Thursday, along with earnings to include Amazon. So we do have earnings all week long, but I'm just putting the big ones on there, right? Google and Amazon, these are going to be big players here Tuesday and Thursday. Then on Friday, we've got average hourly earnings, non-farm employment change, and the unemployment rate coming up. And volatility, I thought I had a volatility in there. I expect volatility to be, let's just go back here for a second. Where did it go here? Volatility. Where did it go? I lost the volatility screenshot. Volatility, I expect it to be fairly high Monday through Thursday and moderate on Friday. Okay. So watch for volatility issues coming down on those days. Okay. So, but right now, folks, I think, and I kind of want to get through this fairly quickly because right now I want to introduce to you somebody very, very special. And let me just get some fireworks here. Uh, and and is good evening, John. How are
How
you?
are you? I am doing great, Hugh, and I'm so happy to be here. Let me flip on a little video here so everyone can see me.
Awesome. And John, that would be really, really good because and while you're doing that, I am also going to I'm going to open up the microphones to everybody here because I can hear it in the background. They're all cheering for you, John. Look at that. Oh my God. They're going crazy for you, John. They've been looking forward to this a long time, John. A long time. Anyway, okay, well, let's get okay. We'll close the microphone out there again. It's just wow,
Okay.
you guys are awesome, awesome. All right, and I see. Okay. Folks, John has been with us for look at the fireworks on blue. He's a legacy Eagle. How long have you been with Legacy with Eagle for? How long have you been with Eagle for?
Gosh, I was with Eagle for several years, about 6 years before I decided I was going to retire. And well, my wife didn't retire. She kept her company going. She's selling it, and it's so I found myself with a lot of free time on my hands. And the next thing you know, I got a call, and they told me who I'd be working with, and I was already uh, I would listen to Hugh in the mornings while I did my trading, and I jumped at the chance when they said, "Hey, we need someone with a little technical expertise to come on and you know see what you can do and help you out because he's getting run a little thin here." And so I said, "Man, no problem. I'll be right there." So I am super excited about being here, and it's kind of interesting because I've heard Hugh's background before, but ours is so similar, and it's a lot of people the same. I mean, we weren't in the same career or anything like that, but it all started the same way.
Yeah.
We lost money with the people who were running our money. We made a lot of money, but we couldn't, found out we weren't keeping it because the people who were running it knew, well, not much, obviously. And so I read everything I could, found what worked for me. Back then, there wasn't a whole lot of online trading, so I was using brokers. Brokers said, "Hey, can we follow your trades?" I said, "Yeah, sure, just let me get in first." They had me speak to some of their clients. And next thing you know, someone said, "Hey, why don't you do some kind of publication?" And then I ran into a buddy who had started up a little rinky-dink website. And next thing you know, we were publishing it out, and it just went from there. So I've been doing this for over 20 years now. Before that, well, other things I do right now, I own interest, I invest in small companies. I like doing that, helping them out, and when I can, I love to just let them go. Right now, I'm actually having to part-time manage with some other people a truck park company. It's a blast. It's a lot of fun. It's one of those things. Put some money in. Never thought I'd be involved in, but then just things happen. Next thing you do, well, heck, I'm trying to prepare that one for my kids that they can take over someday. But the thing is, whether we went this path, and our backgrounds are different but the same, but we went through the same process. I was a lawyer before that, and I found that I was very good with facts and logic, and I found that those attributes played very well when I started trading stocks after losing a lot of money. I know y'all have seen some of those shows. I was one of the guys who was, getting cold calls by those people out in New York. And I lost my money too. So I said, there's got to be a better way. Figured out a better way. And as I said, it went from there. And I came to the point where it was going so well, I had to decide whether I wanted to be in the law firm or not anymore. And I was up for shareholder, which is, the partner. And they were working 70 hours a week. They run home to eat with their kids at 5 o'clock and then be back in the office at 7 o'clock till midnight. And it's like, that wasn't a life. And so I was sitting there fretting this decision, and my wife just looks at me and she just shakes her head and just like, "You arrogant man. You have what you wanted. What are you doing?" And so I quit and I started doing this full time. And that's what I've been doing ever since. And I follow a simple motto, and it's just, well, I have several of them, but one of my favorites is take what the market gives. I know they've been advertising that, but that's what I do. When the market puts $100 in front of me, I'll take it. I had a friend, one of my mentors at this, he said that, if there's $100 bill on the ground, are you going to bend over and pick it up?
Yep.
And of course, $100 was worth a lot more back then, but you get the idea. If the market's going to be tossing $100 bills on the ground, I'm going to pick them up. I don't care which way it goes.
Yep.
Upside, downside, sideways. I don't really care. I don't have a bias. Well, actually, I do. As Hugh was talking about, one of the biases is the market tends to go up. Now, it goes down for sure, but overall it tends to go up, and seasonal patterns do apply. There's always can be upset like this tariff thing. We'll see how that plays out. But even as what happened last Monday with that big gap down, as Hugh said, the market came back up. So yeah, there's a bias. I have that bias. But really, my bias is also, in order to take what the market's giving and to do it consistently, I try to know what the market's current position is. That's what I want to know. I want to know if it's starting a move, in the middle of a move, looks like it could be running into trouble. I like that. Now we can make money in day trades by any session.
Yeah.
Any session we can do it. But there are times where it's just simply easier. You all know that. That's the way the market works. There are times the market's ready to reverse, and it can happen rapidly. And one of the things that the lament that so many people I know who try the market and have trouble with it and blow up their accounts, what have you, is that they can consistently make wins to the upside, but then they can get blown out on a big reversal, hit some blindside.
It happens. It happens a lot. Everybody, you know what? It happens to everybody. So if you got hit with that, you know what? Don't worry. It's just a stepping stone. It's a hurdle. I always tell people never, ever trade more than you can afford to lose, so it doesn't, affect your lifestyle. Always have a certain amount that you're okay with. Do the best you can, but don't fret. I mean, it happens to everybody where it goes bad on you. It's funny you mentioned your lawyer and working those ungodly hours all the time. I've known a number of lawyers who did the same thing, and it wasn't healthy. I know this one lawyer, he's gone through, I don't know, 3 or 4 marriages. Like, if I ever want to call him, I never called him at home. He's always at the office, always at the office. I swear, maybe he took a sleeping bag there or something, but he was always there, always working. That's not the life you want, and I think what trading gives me is a life so I like to use trading as a tool to be able to do other things in my world. Like I enjoy, believe it or not, spending time with my wife and kids and grandkids and stuff. I like to fly airplanes and go sailing and different things, enjoying life. I feel like I'm a little too old to go skiing. I haven't gone skiing yet in a few years, but and trading affords that. You can work whenever you want, as much or as little as you want. There's no punching a clock. You don't have to appear in court. I see that, you're arguing before the Texas Supreme Court of the U.S. Fifth District Court of Appeal. Like that had to have been pressure on you, John. I can't believe that you did not have sleepless nights knowing that you have this big case coming up and you got to deal with this and hopefully win. Um, you know,
Tremendous amounts of pressure, because you're being paid ridiculous amounts of money to perform for your client, and you better perform for your client.
totally.
And courts, judges are very much sticklers. They're very difficult to deal with. Of course, I haven't met an attorney typically who's not difficult to deal with either. So I guess it runs in the industry. But yeah, there's a lot of pressure. And I tried to stay as in the best shape possible at the time. I could run then before my knees blew out. But I would run every day at lunch, and I would make myself run after before I started my night session of work. If I missed my lunch run, just to alleviate the stress level. I didn't run for enjoyment at that point. I ran to clear my mind and to lower my stress, because blood pressure does run quite high among the legal profession. Yeah, it was tough, and you're right. Being able to transition out of that. I mean, I thought I wanted to be this, I thought I wanted to be that, but when you put it down on paper, like, hey, what do I want to accomplish in my life? It wasn't it for me. I'm not saying it's not for others. Some people can handle that, and it just rolls like water off the duck's back. But it's a tough profession, and like he was saying, we can go up skiing with the family up in Colorado and I can still do the trading. We can go pretty much anywhere in the world and still do the trading. I love to ride my bike.
Yeah.
And no more knees, so biking, and it turns out you love it. There's an old joke that I had where I saw a fella, it was a cartoon. These two guys are in prison, said, hey, what are you in here for? This is back in the 80s. So everybody said, stealing to support my habit. And he goes, cocaine? He goes, no, snow skiing. So you can spend as much money as you want on any sport. And my wife says, I just always have to find some sport to get involved in so I can blow money on it. But, that's just kind of the way I am. I like to try new things and and when I go in, I do a lot of it. That is my personality. But it is interesting. Here's kind of a segue here. I do go in, but I do measured risk on everything. And you are absolutely right about that. It's exactly the way I look at things and why I look at where the market is, because I can use my understanding of the technical moves to know when it's safer to get in or when it's riskier to get in. You and I were talking, gosh, back in mid-January, I think it was January 10th, right when the run started, right when it's getting ready to start. And the market had been consolidating most of the month, and but it'd go up and down, up and down. And it had been selling for a few sessions, and Hugh and I were trading emails. And I said, this is in the position now. It could make the move that we're looking for. It could go over the next 4 to 6 sessions. It could go up, 15 to 20 SPY points. Well,
Yeah.
on the next 6 sessions, it went up 29 SPY points. So yeah, better than expected. But the point is, the day trade spy people killed it
Yes.
during that period. Killed it. That was a milk run. The old military phrase and the old Air Force. It was a milk run because it had held a key support level that it had held before. Everything else looked status quo, and it bounced right off of that, and boom, there you go. It was easy. I mean, that we were picking up the $100 bills at that point. And that is why I look at those levels. And that's what I'm going to be doing. I do it overall just to get a gist of where we are in the move in the market. And I do it day to day. Every day I'm going to identify support and resistance levels, because the thing we want to do, and Hugh and I, you're successful, we're successful because we do this. We identify an entry, but we've also identified our resistance and support levels.
Yeah.
And so we make sure we have the gain that we want to make with cushion, so we can make that without hitting any difficult levels. I mean, you're going to do it. You can't pick them every time someone hiccups in the market, as he said, and it goes against you. But if everything is status quo, the trend will resume and we will make our money. And we give ourselves that cushion so we aren't fighting any
Yeah.
resistance. We don't want to have to necessarily break out to make our money. We want to, is in a range? Great, love it. We'll just buy it that day's range when it's a good indication, and then we'll take it up to our target. That's what's going to make us successful. And Hugh is a master at identifying that. I call him the momentum master, because he has his rules that he trades by, and he executes by those rules. Now, as with me, he gets excited sometimes. I get excited. But to tell you what, that excitement is good. And if you can channel it and use it, that's going to make you more successful. And that's one thing I'm here for. I want to show y'all that I know what I'm talking about. He knows what he's talking about.
Well,
And
you're too kind on that, John.
well,
I wing it. I wing it. No,
I've seen you long enough to know, Hugh. I've seen you do it long enough to know.
oh, that's why they call me Humble Hugh. But listen, you're gonna tell you, folks, John's gonna be in with the trading room with us every morning, which I am so excited about. Very happy about it. He brings an enormous amount of wealth. Now, John, you are a lawyer, but we're not going to hold that against you, okay? We're just,
I've told you I like lawyer jokes. I have good lawyer jokes. And if
oh my
anyone's got great lawyer jokes, let me hear them. I love them.
We're,
I love
we're gonna
them.
have so much fun on this thing. It's like breathing a whole new fresh air into this whole program. But I think we have the same philosophy here. Basically taking what the market gives you and do what you want, dig what you do. That's what life's all about. So we're on in the trading room every morning, 9:20, and we're going to talk about that a little bit here. 9:20 to 10:30. We don't monopolize your whole day. I don't know if you've been in other trading rooms, John. I was on both sides in these things, and I remember years ago, oh my gosh, we used to host this trading room, a bunch of guys and myself, and every morning, 9 o'clock till 4 every day, and then we'd be on every Sunday night and every Tuesday night and every Thursday night. Holy jeez, it turned into more than a full-time job. I said, this isn't the way I want to do this. I want the stock market to be my slave, not me the slave to it. And then when I kind of Oh, and we had to look at other sectors and what companies and different things. I didn't even know what I was looking for, to be honest with you. I just kind of ran, rolled along with it. But when I realized that, hey, listen, if I just learn one thing and one thing really well, and I think you probably agree with me in the legal department too. If you specialize in one thing and you do that very, very well, you will become the expert in that, and people will find you out. It looks like you were in commercial litigation in oil and gas, and you probably didn't do too many, I don't know, maybe you probably didn't do too many divorces or wills or real estate or any of that other stuff. You probably focused in on oil and gas. And whenever anybody in the country wanted somebody, they probably came to you because you are the specialist. Would that be accurate?
Yes, as a matter of fact, Hugh, right now I live in an area we moved out here to be between Houston and Austin because we like my wife likes to go to the shows and what have you in those places, and I like the restaurants. But in any event, I we had oil and gas here now, a lot of production, and people. I haven't practiced in years. I have my license still. People looked me up, and I get calls from people every day wanting me to do their stuff. Because yeah, I was well known in the industry. I was very good at what I did, but I enjoyed it and I loved it. But I love a lot of things as well, and one of them is having a lot of free time while still making very good money.
So that's what we do. We specialize in day trading options on SPY, discovered that, and then became very good at it after a while. So, all right, let's move along here. We have many opportunities every day, and we show you how to spot them and how to trade them. And that's what we're going to do. And John and I are going to be in the trading room. We're going to talk about that a little bit here again. So let's talk about what we do actually have. So we've got several, because I have some questions here on that. Well, I don't have the time to be in the trading room. Is there anything else for me? So we actually have several services for you folks. And if you can't be in the trading room, this is actually pretty cool. And it's called the Day Trade Spy Signal. What it is, it's sent to your cell phone when the algorithm kicks in, anywhere from 3 to 5 times a week in the mornings. When that particular setup happens, you're going to get the buy signal on your cell phone as a text. Said buy this option now. It's a very specific option. You buy it and immediately put it up for sale for a 5% profit target. If it doesn't sell by the end of the day, sell it at the market value at the end of the day. These options are designed to have some time in them so that it's not going to go to zero, or it shouldn't go to zero. And it's been very, very successful. I think our services are now, I haven't looked at them lately, but I think we're around that 90% mark or something. So the Day Trade Spy Signal. Then we have the pick of the day, a little bit different. This one comes to your inbox just at about 9 o'clock every morning. 9 o'clock. So we pick this option, and we take all the inputs, all the various news feeds that we look at, the Twitter feeds, X, sorry, X, it's called X now. We take all the various people that we consult and the technical indicators and everything else. You put it all into this big mixture and come out. Is the market going to go up today or is it going to go down? Where's the propensity here? And then we issue you an option with which to buy at market open. So the idea here is to, between 9:30 and 9:31, wait till the bid-ask spread settle in nice and tight, and then get into the trade. Now, if the stock is going against you, so you look at the 1 minute chart. If the stock is going against you, then wait until it turns around that 1 minute chart, and then go back to the upside, and you're gonna do much better with that. So that's called the pick of the day. Another very popular program. And then of course there's the inner circle. Now, you inner circle members, you may have noticed in the last few days that the inner circle has a different style to it. And I had a lot of good comments already come back that they like the new style. Well, John here has been writing the inner circle every morning, and I applaud you for that, John. It's an awesome uh, reporting on that. And along with the morning market report in the inner circle, you're also going to be invited to our Wednesday night interactive meetups, 8 o'clock. Bring your questions, comments, and everything else. And every day, you're going to get a follow-up report as to what we actually did during the trading room and everything else that we did. So that is the inner circle. These are great programs, but I think we should talk about the trading room because this is where the rubber meets the road. This is where John and I are going to be hosting this together every morning, and he brings a wealth of information here, different kinds of I guess different kind. It's going to be kind of again the same strategy, but different indicators and different insights into how this is going to work. So when you combine John's expertise and my expertise, I think when our indicators unite, our trades ignite. I think it'd be fair to say that, and I think you're going to really, really enjoy it, and you should see a real improvement in your trading. So this is where our strategies come alive again. We don't monopolize your whole day. We get into it 9:20 to 10:30 every morning Eastern time. Learn from the best folks who've been doing this for a long, long time. John, you said you go back, what, 20 years or something? That's a long time.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, 20
Very.
years. The interesting thing is, and I want to interject here for you if I can. When I was introduced to Hugh and he told me how he trades, I'm like, we're all in things. I said, well, that's the same way that I do it. Yeah, when I trade SPY, that's the way I do it. I mean, it's a very consistent, very accurate method of moving in and banking profits.
That's what I like. You don't have to know everything about the stock market to make some money. If you want to learn all about the stock market, believe me, there are endless courses out there, endless courses. If you want to know how to make money, you're in the right place right here. That's what we do. We teach you. We teach what we trade what we teach. And this is exactly so we you become the expert in day trading options on SPY. Very narrow focused. Look, you got a problem with your foot, you go to a foot doctor. The foot doctor might know there's 256 bones in the foot. They don't know anything. He or she doesn't know anything about the heart or the lungs or the brain or anything else. But man, they know everything about the foot. And that's exactly what we do. Honestly, I don't care about crypto. I don't care about what's that other one, fungible assets, or I don't care about commodities. I don't even trade futures. I don't trade any, I've done a lot of that other stuff, but when I found my niche, and I became very good at it, then that to make money. If you want to make money, trading options on SPY, this is where where to be. So watch us make real trades, real setups, real time. Got any questions, right? We'll answer them in the trading room. And as far as I know, we've got the longest running trading room since 2010. I'm not aware of any other ones. So I can't say for sure it is, but I am not aware of any other longer running trading rooms. So I think we did something right. So anyway, that's that. Folks, I can tell you that the best way, now you can go to our website and subscribe to all these services, but I'm going to tell you something right now. The best way to do it is to email customer service at daytradespy.com. Tell them what you want. They are going to give you the best rate. Now, for the trading room, all right, it's only if you go through customer service at DayTradeSPY, it's $6.99 for a 3 month period. So you're not tied in for a year or forever or anything like that. Just try it and you get a 30-day money back guarantee. Okay, 30-day money. So you can be there for a month, 3, 4 weeks, whatever. And if you really don't like it, if it's not your cup of tea, just call them up and say, it's not for me. And they'll give you your money back. I mean, how cool is that? And I can almost assure you, you're going to learn a few things during that time you're in the trading room. So even if you don't stay with it, you're going to do very, very well. But I can tell you, most people stay with it. And I can also tell you the people that do very, very well, they're the ones that have been in the trading room for a very long time. We've got some members that have been there for years and they're doing extremely well, folks. So, again, any of our services, contact customer service at daytradespy.com. Tell them what you want, the Day Trade Spy signal, pick of the day, inner circle, or the trading room, and they'll give you the best price. Best price. So, all right. So, let me go back here. This is our fireplace here. This is our fireside chat. So go ahead, ask away. John and I will take your question. John, I take it you can see the questions, right?
Yes, I can see the questions.
Perfect. Let's get some of these questions out of the way, and so we don't keep these people all night long here. But
I got one for you here.
sure,
Do you think that podiatrist knows that the foot bone is connected to the ankle bone?
probably.
Okay,
I
just
don't
curious.
know.
I know they're specialized, but I guess there's
Well,
general.
they must know something. I don't know, but it's funny. You go to a generalist, and they always say you to their friends. They got quite the network going on. Those guys, they all make money. Um, but kind of like lawyers, though, right? I mean, so what's that story there? I remember reading something there, John, about so if there's a lawyer, a single lawyer in one town, right? He makes some pretty good money. But if there are two lawyers in the little town, they both make really great money because they're always suing each other, right? They're always going. So I don't know how we made that connection there, but it's no, it's really exciting to have you here. So
Well,
okay.
I'll get a lawyer joke rolling. I see there's some in here already in the question and answer, but
Gosh, here we go.
you know why sharks don't bite lawyers?
Sorry, what's that again? Sorry, say
It's
again.
why sharks don't buy lawyers.
Why sharks
Professional courtesy. So there you go.
Oh, what's the other one? What's
Okay, I got it started. But anyway, yeah, so
here we go.
we got a lot of questions to go through. I see John S spells his name the same way I do. He made a comment about that. That's obviously, my name is Jon Johnson, as you can see, and it's a long story to that. We're Danish, and they didn't know how to spell our last name, so they just put it Johnson when we came over. So that's how that worked. So anyway, I dated a Swedish girl once, and her grandparents swore that I was Swedish because of the name. But anyway, whatever. But yeah, so John, that's the way to do it. I thought my parents just played a cruel joke on me with two Johns spelled differently, but I found out that's not such an uncommon name.
I think it's a sweet.
Okay, let's look at some questions here.
Sure. All right. Is this Phil's asking, is this a John that I started with using the post as buys from the think buys and sells from Thinkorswim? Is this the John that I started out with that used? No, this is a different John, Phil. This is a different John. Phil, I gotta tell you a story about Phil. This is Phil L. Here's a gentleman, I think, Phil, correct me. I believe you are in your 90s and you're still trading. I talked to Phil several months ago, and this is what I love about trading options. It keeps you sharp mentally, keeps you totally sharp mentally. Your cognitive skills are sharp. When I talk to Phil, this guy can talk circles around me. Witty, sharp as anything. And when he told me how old he is, I couldn't believe it. I could only hope to be half as sharp as Phil is when I'm that age, if I'm lucky enough to get that age. Really good to meet, a really great guy, really good guy. So that's what I love about trading. You hear a lot of people, what they do is they retire, they sit in front of the TV, 6 months later, they drop dead. Um, if you are a trader, you have to stay sharp. And that's one of the reasons I enjoy doing this because it keeps me sharp with my own trading, and I always have to be on the ball. And I just turned 70 on the 22nd of January. And I tell you, John, I don't feel it at all. I mean, I feel like I'm in my 20s.
Oh
And
no, yeah. I
but
feel
look,
like I'm gonna be 65 this year. Yeah, I jokingly tell my wife I'm a middle-aged man. And to that, to her chagrin, I think she's a bit concerned about that I would be around that long. But no, it's you're right. And I've read that, and for what it's worth, I read everything, and that's can be good and can be bad. But I've heard that, the challenge to keeping your mind sharp is not like doing crossword puzzles every day. It's different things. You have to test your limits doing different things. And the cool thing about trading is I'm always learning something new.
yeah,
And every day the market, doesn't present you the
every
same thing, sure. But it always tries to throw you a curveball and keep you on your toes. And that's the cool thing. That's what, keeps guys like me and Hugh just really, we're insatiable for that challenge and we like to take it on.
I look forward to trading every morning. I'm more excited now than I ever was to get up in the morning to do this. Who does that? Who does after 15 years, that you're excited like crazy to get up and do this every day, you know? By the way, I don't tell people I'm 70, I tell them I'm 69 plus tax.
That's right. That's right. Sorry about that.
Nope. Okay, so right, we all need to do a better job of educating ourselves regarding tariffs. Before these tariffs implemented, let's take a look at the tariff Canada levies on the USA milk. Canada levies a 270% tariff on American milk, 245% on cheese, 298% on butter, 238 on chicken. Folks, tariffs have always been there. There's nothing new on that. So I think people are overestimating what that's all about. Um, Trump likes to come on strong and then he backs off. He's done this all the time with everything. What he's trying to do is stop the immigration, the illegal flow of immigrants and curb all that, get back into safety and I think that's really the objective of all of this. So, but that's good to know that John S. He's. Oh, I should tell you, John Johnson, um, the um, the people we have on this in our group here are exceptional people. I actually love them to pieces because these people are very, very intelligent. They're compassionate. I get all kinds of unsolicited advice from everything from my own health, wealth, and even advice for my dog. I have an aging dog. She's 12 years old, Bernese Mountain Dog. They're only supposed to live 6 to 8. We got another, few years out of her. And people tell me, and the people, they're like friends. They're like friends, and you'll get to know them very quickly, very well, and how to do this. So, uh,
I was just about to make the same comment. I've been I was shadowing last week, folks, so you know, and so I could hit the ground running. And I read the comments, and this is an extremely well-educated group. And that, I mean, I was just going to make this comment that, I'm reading these tonight, and these people know they know their stuff. They do their homework. And yeah, so yeah, you're very timely comment because I was about to say the same thing. And it's a cool thing because everything here is talking about, and it's what I used to tell my people when I was here, and it's what I tell my kids, and what my definition of your success, and it's a different level for everybody, but it's doing what you want to do when you want to do it. And if
yeah,
you can do that, you are so far ahead of the game in life enjoyment. And as you was talking about earlier, and I was talking about earlier, that's the beauty of trading because you can do it anywhere. But go ahead, here, interrupted you.
and that's what I like about. And there's a question here: what's easier for beginner to execute, the pick of the day or the day trade by signal? I like them both, and they're both they serve a different audience. So the signal is if you're say if you're out and doing something, but you got your cell phone with you, you got your app on the phone. You could be driving or just walking around doing whatever you. So you get the signal wherever you are, you can trade right there. With the pick, you have to kind of be in front of your computer or in front of your app at 9:30 in the morning. Right? That's basically it. You have to be kind of there at 9:30. Now, some people like that better. Other people like the signal better. Some people like apples. Other people like bananas. So it's just whatever you want. If you want, I think they're priced pretty similarly. They both have an extremely successful rate of success, which is really good here. I've got another comment here from Michelle. Welcome aboard, John. Another fellow Texan here. Looking forward to trading your trading input. What's going to happen Monday? People are asking what's going to happen tomorrow. Um, and a bunch of people are asking here what kind of indicators you use. We're not going to
Okay.
reveal that. You have to be in the trading room to get the secret sauce. We don't give you the secret
Yeah,
sauce.
those were holding back, and I will, you'll hear me making comments. You'll see, yeah, we'll share the screen, and you'll see a few things I'm looking at, and you'll see interesting things too. It's like it all builds on itself. I use indicators, yeah, and if you look at some of my screens, you'll think, oh my God, what's he looking at? But I use very few of them, and you train yourself over time. They mesh together. I don't know, Mick, I don't know if y'all remember the Matrix, where the fellow would know, he'd be watching the Matrix. He wouldn't look at the oh, I forget what you call it, the compiled version of it. He would just look at the raw image. He could just read it. And for me, that's kind of the way it is. I can look at all my indicators and I don't have to, separate them out to see it because I'm looking for synergies and I'm just looking for matchups and, confirming what, we already think is going to happen basically. And just the main driver is I want to give us enough room to make our money and, go ride our bike or go, hug the grandkid or something like that and be done for the day. That's what I'm looking for.
Well, what happens too is over time, it all becomes second nature to you, these indicators. I know a lot of people when they start trading, they're looking at a very specific indicator and they're looking at that and they're trying to force a lot of the trades. For example, I talk a lot about chart patterns and I say, listen, don't force a chart pattern. If it doesn't jump out at you, there's no pattern in it. You have to have them jump out at you. But over time, and we keep talking and reiterating and repeating and repeating and repeating, um, you know, you're going to pick it up almost through osmosis. You're just gonna naturally see all these things. It's like driving a car. I don't know, John. I'm sure you know how to drive a standard transmission. Maybe you don't. Maybe I'm being presumptuous here, but
All we had when I was around.
you know, but remember when you first started that? Okay, put the clutch in, put it in gear, start the car, give a little gas, pull the clutch out, shift it, like this whole series. And of course, you're always bouncing and stalling and everything else. You think, am I ever going to learn this? And after a short while, you're not even thinking about it. You just instinctively do it. And it's like flying an airplane too. I know there's some pilots on board here too, but at the very beginning, of course, you're always nervous and you're looking at everything and everything else. But after all, you just kind of very instinctively get at one with the plane, and you just scan the instruments, and you know everything, right? And you just instinctively do it. And that's kind of the way it is with trading too. And the longer you're in the trading room, excuse me, the better. The more you're going to become familiar with everything instinctively. And just like what you say, so when you're going to be bringing your indicators in, and you're going to be bringing my indicators in, you're going to instinctively see all of this converging in here, and you're going to instinctively probably do quite well. I know a lot of people do very, very well. So, um, wow, Mark's saying he's a retired 747 captain. What kind of plane do you fly? Okay, so all right, 172s, 152s, but my favorite is my Challenger, ultralight Challenger 2, which is it's a dual seat. It's two seats tandem. Pusher prop over. It's got the wing on the top. It's really a blast because you can actually shut the engine off and ride the thermals. It's flying the way it should be. It's a stick and rudder, which I absolutely love. Stick and rudder, flying to farmer fields on a Saturday morning for breakfast. Um, I just love it. You get it one. Oh, you know what I like to do? I like to fly low and slow, and you find herds of deer, and chase the deer around. Like, it's actually pretty cool. That's the kind of thing I like to fly, Mark. But all right, James said, "Welcome aboard. I'm right up the road with you in Waco. Wow." You got a lot of company down there in Texas, John.
I'm seeing it here. I'm liking it. Hey, yeah, we had a great day today. It was 77 and bluebird skies today. It was amazing. 40s in the morning and then 77 in the afternoon. So yeah, there is some appeal here. Of course, in the summertime, it feels like it's 177, but that's the summertime.
And I'm in Western New York, the Buffalo, New York area. Now, listen, don't hold that against me. You don't have to speak slow or anything, but I guess we just like our cold, cold weather, our chicken wings, and we love to see the Buffalo Bills get right to that point, and then they collapse. They lose. They lose by a little bit. There was it last week. They just lost by a little bit, and this is, I think, the fourth time in a row. Just can't seem to secure that Super Bowl, the trophy. But anyway, it's what it is. So we're under some weather here, but John, I want to ask you if, and I don't know if you're going or not, but and I forgot again to mention, Las Vegas, going to be in Las Vegas. And if you're going to be there, John, we can bring you up stage and host the thing together. Las Vegas is going to be February the 17th, 18th, and 19th, and I am going to be presenting twice on the 19th. John, if you're in the area, please come hang out the booth, talk to people, meet everybody. We'd love to have you there. Um, and bring you on stage too. We'll talk to you, if you're how close are you there to Vegas? You're probably not that far from that, are you?
No, it's just a short flight away, and I got a brother out there in Cave Creek in Arizona, and I can always just it'd be a good stop to see him as well. It's a good excuse to go. So there,
Sure.
two things at once.
We'd
And
love
also, that's as a matter of fact, they're having I think the Belgian waffle ride is out there on that weekend. So
Oh, okay.
there you go. It's something I could do as well. Of course, I probably can't get in by now, but if I bribe someone, it could probably happen.
So tell us what that's all about. Some people don't
That's
know.
just they have a Belgian waffle ride in a few places. I think it's Whistler, Canada is one, but Cave Creek, Arizona is it's very hilly, and it's a gravel ride on bikes, about
Nice,
bicycle.
nice.
And you can kill yourself as much as you want, 100 miles, 50 miles, 30 miles, whatever. And Yeah, I was thinking I'd ride, 30 or 50 and then just, my brother is a tequila connoisseur and I thought then we'd probably just hit some tequila.
Yeah, well,
Oh, that'd be great. I mean, I love going out to Vegas for those shows.
there's always something to do out in Vegas. I love this. It never sleeps. Never, never sleeps. Here's a question here. Spy down tomorrow. Do we have to buy puts? Not necessarily, Alexi. Not necessarily. As a matter of fact, personally, I like it when the stock goes down because most of the time it goes back up. And that's usually when I make a lot of money back to the upside when it goes down. But we're going to wait and look and see what the markets are telling us tomorrow. It's a little bit too early right now to decide what we're going to do for tomorrow. So what we do is we look at everything in the morning, and that's when we make our assessments. So all right, let me see. People are asking, what do we see ahead for tomorrow? You got to be in the trading room. We'll tell you in the trading room here. Larry B, I fly 152s, 172s. Also, Wacko biplane. Okay. I'd love to get on that one here. And okay, sounds good. I don't know. There's a question here that I get asked a lot, and that is, if you guys are making money trading so much, why do you bother training other people to do it? Why don't you just trade on your own? Um, I like to answer that. The long and short is don't ask us why, just be thankful we do. Personally, my long answer is I enjoy teaching others and it keeps me sharp. I don't know how you would answer that, John, but I'm sure you get asked that a lot too.
All the time. And yeah, for me, it's the same thing. But like I said earlier, my goal has always been I want to help people be able to do what they want to do when they want to do it because your life is so much better when you can. You hear about, oh, my job. I have a buddy of mine and he kills himself at this one job, kills himself. And I don't tell him. I just say, check it out. I'm willing to, give you some pointers on this. You'll learn how to do it. You can take care of yourself, and then you don't even, you know, you can follow me if you want to, if you want to make real money, or you can, nickel and dime it. But I can teach you the basics, and you know, you have to get to the point where you're wanting to do it, and it drives me crazy to see people who are working a job they don't like when I know I could help them not. And that's why I do it. And I love doing it because I like trading. As I said earlier, when I would do my own trades, I'd have the trading room on because I like to listen to what he was saying because I always get a kick out of what he says and kind of have a laugh and I'm sitting there wishing hey, I wish I could text him, I got a good reply to that and everything. So like I said, it was real good. It was serendipity when I got the call and said, hey, we're looking for someone. So there you go. No, it's because I love it, because it's something I do anyway, and I want other people to do it because life is way too short to fight it. I want to fight, like, yes, be challenged, but don't hate what you do.
Yeah, there's a lot of over the years, I've got a million stories to tell. I know this was one guy. He was actually retired dentist, I think in North Dakota or something. Great guy. I haven't talked to him in a while. I should dig him up and see. But he and his wife and another gentleman from the UK, they made their money trading SPY options through my course, and they went down to Haiti and Guatemala and after the hurricanes and stuff. Now this is years ago. I don't know if they're still doing this or not because of the situation in Haiti right now. But they built a school on what they call Trash Mountain. These Trash Mountain kids. These are orphan kids because their parents got swept out in the ocean or something. But so these kids, and they would teach these kids and bring in teachers and stuff and just create a whole new life and so the money they made, they were able to do something really positive for communities around the world and things. And other people, like you say, they want to quit their job. I've had lawyers learn to trade and quit their jobs. And then I've had and sometimes uh, frankly, John, I have to say no to some people if I think that you're not going to be good for this, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to be brutally honest and say. And oddly enough, I actually had a lawyer. His name is Sean from Michigan. This is unbelievable. I mean, that was really unbelievable. He wanted to trade. He wanted to give up law. I think he was doing real estate. Real estate wasn't going very well for him and stuff. And I started to teach him. And I think it was the second or third session I had with the guy. Uh, I felt so bad for him. He asked me, he said, "So, how do you calculate percentages again?" He just wasn't good with numbers, you know? He just was. And I said to him, you should really reconsider this because I see you're really struggling with numbers. So I've always had trouble with numbers. Well, I don't know if this is really for you. I don't want to see you blow out your account. And I kind of, in a nice way, fired him. But it's funny because a couple months later, he actually called me back and thanked me for that because he says, you could have been like any other scumbag and taken my money, and I'd have blown up my account and everything else, and but you saw that in me, he said to me, I think you're right. I probably wouldn't have done this. I dabbled a little bit, but I knew it was never going to work out for me. Never going to work out for me. So I don't know what he's doing now, but super nice guy. But it's not for everybody. It's not for everybody, but if it's for you, man, we'd love to help you here. And I think with that, John, I think it's 9:16 Eastern. I'm gonna wrap it up here. We're gonna call it a day. And listen, folks, please love to see you in the trading room with John, and he does the morning market analysis and all kinds of other stuff. We're gonna give him doing, and it's been a pleasure. So, John, thank you for joining us. We'll see you in the morning.
Hey, great. Bring your questions tomorrow. We're ready.
Absolutely. All right. Good night, everybody. Thanks, John. Thanks. See you.
Good night, folks.
Shine brighter than the moon and the sun. Be great at what you do. Give it all of you. And trust the process and keep your eyes on the prize. I can tell